Hey guys, so I am a part of this Facebook group that is Russian about socionics, and if you have not heard of socionics, I'll put the link below. It's very similar to Myers-Briggs in the fact that there are 16 archetypes that have different functions, but socionics is just a little bit more complex, I would say. So there's this theory of associative socionics. Now, I don't know much about it, but basically I did this test online where I picked my favorite photos and my favorite music to see if Russian experts in socionics would be able to guess my type. So what I'm about to record, I'll have on YouTube, is my answers to a questionnaire that the socionics experts are asking me to complete. So if you're watching this because you want to learn more about ENFJs or IEEs, or what is it? No, I'm sorry, I butchered that. EIE. Yes, if you're watching this to learn more about ENFJs or EIEs, you could definitely do that. Now this test might be a little hard for me since I kind of know my type, and I know the functions too, so it's like even if I was mistyped, I would be tricking myself into answering it based on how I know that I'm supposed to answer it. I'll also have this questionnaire below if anyone else is curious and wants to take it, but I'm about to get started. The first question is about my interests and hobbies. So as a kid, I was really, really interested in music. Well, first I started dance. I really liked dance. I did ballet. I was not very graceful at all, but I did like the expression that came with dance. I definitely tried really hard. I danced for like 6 years until I felt really awkward. I was like the tall, awkward kid, and I decided to try theater and choir because that just seemed more me. I liked it mostly just for the expression, and I love music. I still love music. I graduated with a journalism degree, and so writing is not my number one favorite, but I do love communicating. So now I would say my hobbies in my day-to-day life is reading and listening to music and listening to podcasts. I just love to learn. I love to expand my brain in any way. I really think it's important, especially as a journalist, to read the news and know what's going on in the world. My favorite subjects in school were English as a kid, and then whenever I was in like high school, I liked choir and theater and any sort of elective like that. Like I was also in speech and debate. And so, yes, I did not like math very much, but I was a good student, and so I worked at it, and so I made sure I got good grades in it. But I still just did not enjoy it. In school, I had difficulty completing tasks that I couldn't see the point of how it would affect me in the real world. Especially when I got to like trigonometry in high school, I was like, I'm never going to use this. Like, what is the point? So, okay, where do you work or study? So like I said, I just graduated. So I work as a journalist at an online magazine, and I write about technology. So I am writing all the time. I write about 6 articles a week. So that's what I do. What would you like to study or work? Well, see, I love my job. I love writing. I would like to do more multimedia, like with video or audio, and I would also like to talk about more humanitarian topics, but I do just know that right now I'm learning so much that this question, where would I like to study or work, is very future oriented, because right now I know I'm learning things I'm going to need to know, but I would love to talk about social movements and things like that. I'm considering either getting a business degree, a business master's, or a law degree. Keep going back and forth. I'm probably going to go back to school at some point whenever I decide that. But I think it'd be really fun to be self-employed and to like write a book someday. I have a poetry book that I'd like to write, and that's just kind of on the side, but I want to do like creative consulting, and I just want to help people, but I want to help people by sharing with them what I've learned and not telling them like what to do. What do close ones appreciate about me, and what do they criticize me? Close ones have told me that I bring out the best in them. I don't know how to say this like without bragging, but everyone I've ever dated have told me that I changed their life. Now, whether or not that's true, I have no idea. But I've heard that a lot. And it's, I think, because what I really try and do with people is help them do what they want for them. Like, I feel like I'm good at knowing what they really want to do, and I encourage them to do that for them. So, a lot of people I've realized are sort of denying aspects of themselves all the time, or they're afraid to go out and get what they want. And I'm like the ultimate cheerleader in a way, but I also like give them practical steps. Like, just an example, one of my friends in high school, she was afraid to try out for the play, but now she's a theater major in college. But I pushed her, like I was very pushy. This is the exact thing that people also criticize me for, but I like made her try out for the play. I was like, please, please, please do it. You're going to love it. You have nothing to be afraid of. And I push people in these sort of big decisions in their life, which then they come back and tell me that I changed their life or that they're so thankful. But whenever it's actually happening, it's not always appreciated. Like with my sister, I sort of push advice on her, and she really doesn't like that. She wants to do things on her own. So that is, I guess, what I'm criticized about, is that I don't know how to drop an argument, and that I yell when I'm mad, and that people might think I'm hard to please, but I think I'm pretty easy to please. I think you just have to be 100% direct with me and don't try and bullshit me, because I don't like when people try and bullshit me. Let's see. People appreciate my enthusiasm and my optimism, I would say. People appreciate that I am self-aware and always am bringing, like, little nuggets of information to them, I would say. They criticize me on being, like, a little frazzled. I have an issue. Maybe I just criticize myself in this more, but I worry about the fact that I think that I overpromise, underdeliver a lot of times, because I want to do a lot. And so I'll be like, oh my god, I could totally do this. And a lot of times I just fall a little short, because I am so, it's like my eyes are bigger than my stomach, but like that in like a work setting and like other things too. Like I have a hard time predicting, because I'm always over enthusiastic about things. If I know Socionics or MBTI, share my personal thoughts about my possible type. I'm an ENFJ, I'm an EIE. I'm pretty certain. Like, I'd be pretty shocked if I was not. Okay, the 4 functions. Okay, how good am I at logic? So I've gotten a lot better at logic as I've gotten older. I think it's extremely important that I am consistent with myself. But at the same time, I make very quick judgments about things, and I don't like to get too obsessed with the actual step-by-step of the logic. A lot of things in life, I don't even really stop and think about what the logic is behind how they work. But when it comes to my own personal philosophy, I really, really make sure, like if it's something I care about, like if I'm talking about politics or something, I really make sure that what I think is consistent. And so I will really work through my opinion so that before I present it to people, I know that, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, how good am I at ethics? So this is delving into people's feelings, motives, and needs, able to harmonize and inspire people around you. I think it's safe to say, as I already said, I'm pretty 100% positive that I'm an ENFJ, EIE. I'm pretty damn good at ethics. As a kid, I would like watch movies about best friends and like cry that I didn't have a best friend that was always there for me. I always used to be like, oh my god, like nobody ever loves me, like I'm always doing everything and nobody does the same for me, and like crap like that. Like I am loyal to a fault almost. I've been in relationships that I shouldn't have been in because I gave people too many chances. Right now, I'd like to say that I'm growing up and I'm trying to, you know, I really want to be as balanced as I can with feeling and logic because I value intellect. Like, I don't want to be, like, I am a bleeding heart, but I don't want to be stupid. Like, and I don't want to hurt myself. So right now I'm learning a lot about boundaries. But I would say naturally, I didn't have that great of boundaries. I let everyone in. I'm extremely vulnerable. And yeah, that can really hurt you when you do that too much. So, okay, how good are you at intuition? I love intuition. It's my favorite. It's my second function, so, you know, I don't like to put faith in things I can't see. Like, I'm kind of critical, but I really like to dwell in intuition, like, especially when it comes to being creative. I really, really value things like meditating and like different spiritual practices in order to get my intuition out of me. I trust my own inner voice way more than anything else. I have had quite a few like spiritual experiences in my life. I've made a video about that before, where I really am into the metaphysical and the esoteric, and I think it's fun to think about, obviously, like theories like Myers-Briggs and Socionics. Like, these are all theories. Like, sure, it can be proven, but I think it's fun to think about those things. So, yes, I love intuition. Okay, how good are you at sensing? So, this is tough. Because, like I already said, I'm an ENFJ, EIE. I know that SE is my third function, and so that shows up for me in the fact that I think that I'm a lot better at sensing than I actually am. So I really like to get in the zone, and I like to eat good food, and I like to listen to good music, and I like to just really appreciate and absorb the sensory environment, but I'm just really bad at details. And even like as a journalist, even though I try and spell check and grammar check, like there's always something I miss because I just am not my eyes are not very sharp in that sense. I have a unique ability to live in a room that's not that clean for multiple days in a row because I just don't really notice. I really would like to get my sensing more in order, so I would say no, my sensing is not good. Okay. FE, how do I express the mood and emotions? How do I get from people the right emotional response? Very good. That's my number one. That's what I'm always doing. I have issues, like I used to think that I would want to live in a really big city, and maybe I will, I'm not sure, but it really messes with me. It can ruin my whole day if I just walk down the street and see like a homeless person, because I just can't help but feel bad. And I don't like to be upset about things I can't control. And so I really try and organize my day-to-day life in a way where I'm not going to get too upset. Like, especially after this election, I've been trying to not look at all the Facebook fights and things like that because I'm very susceptible to those things. And so I know that about myself, and so I try and go around it. I'm a very emotional person. I will not lie about my emotions. I'll share them to everyone. I think it's healthy to do that. I think more people should be like that. If I lived in a perfect world, we would all be friends with everyone, and everyone would love each other, and there'd be no war, and everything would be great. Okay, FI. You're a very self-critical person, in touch with your conscious. You observe the behavior of others and judge them in terms of how good or bad they are. Okay, so FI, I'm learning how more important it is. I'm learning that it's important because I have friends that use it and they've told me the importance of it. But yeah, I just don't. I just think it's important to think about others more than you, and so I really try and not be selfish. But I do think it's important. I don't naturally get like butthurt about things, but I do think it's important to, if I am really emotional, to sort of take a moment and be like, okay, why do I think that? Why am I upset? I think that that's work that needs to be done. Yeah. So extroverted thinking, I don't like this. I don't do it. I don't know how to do things quickly, efficiently, with maximum result. I do not enjoy being a handyman. I just don't. I don't know how to manipulate instruments, equipment, and tools. I don't trust my head or facts. I really, don't know how to say that, but the idea of that just makes me feel like, why would you put me in a box? Like, I don't like the way that extroverted thinking, it seems like you just want to keep going forward and just keep guessing. Or, not guessing, but it's all about efficiency and not about what matters. I think that we should be focusing on what's meaningful and what matters. And I also think that, which going back down to TI, which is what I'm about to talk about, I think that we need to make sure that we're being accurate before we just are trying to do something that works. I value accuracy a lot. So introverted thinking, I think I'm pretty good at it. I think I'm pretty right. I always think I'm right, but at the same time, I'm so aware of how much I don't know. And so I never try and pretend like I know something that I don't. But once I know something, I very much think that I'm right. So it takes me a while till I get there, but then once I think something, I always think I'm right. I'm always trying to figure out the reason why behind things. So extroverted sensing is a person of strong character. People notice my inner strength. You enjoy power and influence. Okay, so I enjoy power and influence, but only if it's rightfully mine. Like, I don't want to take it over someone else's. So, yes, my SE is decently good, but I don't like power games for no reason. I just think that I believe in myself and I'm able to get things I want, but I'm kind of slow at getting them sometimes. But I do think I'm pretty persistent. And I like to act off my gut impulse. Like, I've done a lot of things like this. But I think that you just know when you're supposed to do that. I don't know. And that's because it's connected with NI. Okay, SI. I literally am so terrible at SI. I don't know when I'm tired. I don't know when I have a cold. I don't care about tradition. My mom, who's in ESFJ, ESE, she'll be like, oh, you need to put your shoes away. And I'm like, where is away? I don't know. I don't put my places in the same thing every time. I don't really care about having a relaxing atmosphere or environment. I only cook because I love to eat. It's just a means to an end. Yeah. And I also hate stability. I care so much about stretching myself and becoming a better person that I often forget that security maybe matters and that comfort matters. But I actively choose against comfort all the time because I'm just trying to grow. So, okay. Extroverted intuition. I think I love NE. I have a lot of friends with NE. I think that they're very inspiring and great and awesome, but also really confusing. And so I love it. It makes me inspired. I love NE, but it also makes me kind of scattered. Like, I want to make sure I'm getting somewhere. Like, I don't want to just freak myself out with too many possibilities. I like to use it as a tool. Like, okay, like a brainstorming exercise, and then like pick what I want to do and then do that. I love NI. It's my favorite. Like I'm so jealous of INFJs. So yeah, I think I have a vivid imagination. I am sensitive and attentive to changes because I always know when, like, okay, something new is happening, if that makes sense. Like, all right, I've entered a new era or something. Like, I'll like notice when there's been a shift, especially my personality. Like, especially in regards to me and my actions. I'll be like, huh, I am officially eating healthier, or oh, I officially don't want to date anyone, or oh, I officially have done this or something. Like, I've been trying to read more, and I like sort of noticed the other day, okay, reading a book is now a habit. It's now officially a habit. So it's like I really arrange time in different ways, and I really relate to having just a sort of inner knowing that guides my every move. So, yeah, that is the questionnaire. And that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching.